Okay, I have literally done this intro 7 times here, and I always get nervous. I always mess up. 1, not this part, 2, 3, 4. This helps calm me down. And don't make fun of me, guys, but here we go. 5, 6, 7. Okay. Bicycle modifications. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at bicycle mods that are considered either good or deemed Gucci in the world of bicycles. As you guys can see right here to my left, I have here the Elves Falith Evo that I've built up and been riding now for a couple months. I've made some questionable upgrades to the bicycle to either add speed or comfort benefit to it, and some that are more questionable that add just style points and aesthetics look to it. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the necessary upgrades that one should do if they're looking to gain that edge on either speed or comfort. And then 2, just talk about some Gucci upgrades that I think that definitely add some characteristics to the bike and make it more rideable from my standpoint, but won't actually add to added watts onto the road. So hopefully you guys enjoy and you find this content fun. Let me know down below in the comment section, or don't. And I don't know, I'm not good at the YouTube thing, but hopefully you guys enjoy. This is for B-roll purposes. 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 Only the editor should be hearing this audio. Only the editor should be hearing this audio. This is for B-roll purposes. So let's talk about the modifications of a bicycle. I, for one, am a sucker of the modifications of a bicycle. My friends even call me the ricer of the industry because I like to add on to so many things of a bike. I have been in this industry for a very long time now where I like to take a stock bike and change up things to my liking on here. Now, the reason why I like bicycle modifications is because everyone can be so different. If you were to buy a bicycle brand new out of a box, it can pretty much do whatever you need to do right out of the box. You don't need to change anything. You can ride in any group ride you like to do. You can participate in anything you want to do and have no issues with it. But these little added touches that you want to do around the bicycle, like the OSPW, like the different chain, like the 1x chainring, it gives that bike character. Now also it might add into a performance aspect of it, but a lot of people might say that OSPW is a Gucci upgrade, or that ceramic bottom bracket is a Gucci upgrade. But to me, at the end of it, I like those things. I really do enjoy them. I think mentally, they do give me an added benefit, but one of 2 things, I really do like the aesthetics of it. It might not be for everyone, but I really do enjoy how my bicycle look. And if I'm not riding it every single day, as you guys know, I only ride it like once or twice a week, I want something clean to look at in the store. I want something clean to look like at in my house as well. So that's the reason why I like to do all these bicycle upgrades on here. All right, first off, starting off with the modifications that I would deem a Gucci modification is on the drivetrain, the OSPW. It draws in a lot of attention here. It gets a lot of people asking questions. This is an oversized pulley system that replaces the stock pulley system that comes on the Shimano 105 Di2. Is this necessary to ride a bicycle? No. Can you run the stock 105 Di2 and do everything you can with this system on here? Yes. Do I like the way it looks? Of course. The idea behind this pulley system is, with these bigger pulley wheels and with this carbon fiber cage, that there is less friction going through this big jockey wheel through here, and this is going to make it a more free-flowing chain, so it's not as sharp of a bend turns, like boom, boom, boom. So the idea behind this is when you're pedaling, you're not working against sharp turns, and it's more of a free-flowing design. Now again, people will always obviously argue saying that this is a larger OSPW, which is going to negate the effect of that helping, because it's going to add more drag with aerodynamics, and it's going to catch more wind. Also, other people are just going to say that it just doesn't work as much, and if Shimano, or if this was as good as everyone says it was, why haven't Shimano make their stock, or why haven't SRAM make their stock? Who knows on there, but at the end of the day, I do like the fact that I can customize the colors of it. I do like the fact that it has a carbon fiber cage. It looks nice, and I haven't had any issues with mine on there. A bunch of other companies make them, Ceramic Speed, Kogel. There's a ton of different options out there. And again, it is not necessary at all to ride a bicycle, but I do like to add this little kind of Gucci flair to the bicycle. I think it looks really cool. Again, also on the drivetrain, we have here a SRAM XX1 Eagle chain, which is considered a mountain bike chain on here, but it can work with any 1x12 drivetrain system out there. By any means, this is not a necessary upgrade. I just figured that the copper matched the paint scheme really well, and it matched the OSPW, so I went ahead and changed it out. Could I have run the stock 105 chain in there? Of course I could have, but again, any kind of added flair to get me on the bicycle more, or just to be like, look in the corner of my room and say, damn, this bike looks sexy. Let me go ahead and hop on there for a ride. I mean, that's what it really is all about at the end of the day. So I really do enjoy that. Now we're going into the world of these ceramic bottom brackets. This will always be a question of everyone saying, is it really worth it? You're not a pro, it's going to outwear itself, you're going to lose money into it. Because with these high niche items like this with the ceramic BBs, they always say that the wear of this item won't last a price tag on there. You can buy a stock bottom bracket, or your bicycle will probably come stock with a bottom bracket in there for about 20 to 40 bucks. This ceramic BB right here is about $200, and you have other companies like Ceramic Speed ranging around $350, Kogel around 300 bucks as well. The list goes on, and there's a bunch of different ones out there. You have hybrid ceramics, everything like that. In my world, again, I work on the bicycle. I think any less friction I can add to this bicycle, or any friction I can take away from this bicycle, will help me on the long run. If I'm doing multiple RPMs over and over and over again, I don't want any kind of resistance. Now, there's also going to be people saying that once you put this under load, it's going to act completely differently than when you just free spin it. But again, mentally in my head, the less friction I can take away from this bicycle's drivetrain, the more it's going to help me pedal efficiently on the road. But again, this is kind of deemed a Gucci upgrade because of the fact of you can literally run this bicycle, and I know people that are way faster than I am running a stock BB on a stock bike, or even let's just call it what it is, a square tapered bottom bracket on an $800 lay, and they'll blow the brakes off me in a bicycle race. But again, I like the aesthetics of it. I like the free spinning wheel. I like to show it off to my friends in the bike shop. And this, again, will always be deemed a Gucci upgrade. Now, if you did want to go a different route and spend about 50, 60 bucks on a nice quality alloy shell or metal shell BB, maybe get really nice bearings inside there, you can go that route as well. And maybe you're not breaking the bank on a ceramic BB, but you can still have the efficiency of a very nice bottom bracket bearing inside of your bike. I really hope that editor didn't play that B-roll audio. I'll be furious. Now that I focus on some of the Gucci upgrades of the bike, let's go over to the actual good upgrades on the bike. A change to the bicycle that will actually make a difference you'll feel in terms of speed or also comfort depending on what you want to do. As soon as I got this bike, I went ahead and picked out the tires I wanted for here. These are the Challenge Criterium RS tires. These are a 700 by 25C tire that I actually did like. I prefer a skinnier wall tire. And I changed out the regular butyl tubes for a TPU tube made by Pirelli, a 35 gram tube. Benefit to a nicer tire is that you're going to get a less rolling resistance on the road. You're going to have a better surface on here as well. So not only are you getting a lighter tire, you're taking away weight from a rolling area. So you're going to be not working as much and you don't have to take as much inertia to get this thing rolling. And then also that you have a less rolling resistant tire in here as well. So when you're riding on the road, it's going to be a much smoother buzz when riding, and you're not going to have to work against the road as well. Any kind of tire like this, it's the Challenge Criterium, we have the Continental 5000s, we have the Turbo Cotton tires, we have the Vittoria Corsa Pro. Any one of these high-end tires with this high thread count, that's a very lightweight tire, is going to be a much faster tire than usually what comes stock on your road bike, but it's going to come with the price of being a little bit more fragile in terms of long runs that you might catch a little bit more flats on there. So keep that in mind, but I'll always go for a little bit more of a performance tire because of the fact that I will take any kind of help I can get on the road whenever I do choose a ride, even if it does come with the flat, a little bit more worrisome with flats. And the reason why this is such a good price point, such a good upgrade as well, is because of price point. These upgrades I was showing you before, these OSPWs and these bottom brackets, this is a $250 upgrade that offers little to no upgrade over the regular stock pulley. And same with the ceramic BB. This is about 250 bucks over a stock BB, which is 40 bucks, which is offering you a little bit of benefit over what the stock is. This, on the other hand, you get a brand new tire for about 80 bucks compared to what the old tire is. You see a much difference in the ride quality of when you are going at really high speeds. Even coasting at speeds, you don't get that resistance as much as you were, and also just how it feels on the road. And then what also brings me to a different point is the tubes, the TPU tubes. I went with these very lightweight tubes because there's such a difference in weight and such a benefit in price. These tubes are $40, yes, it's $40 a piece, but you're going from a stock butyl tube that comes inside a bicycle that's 100 grams, going to a 35 gram tube. This is $8, this is going to be $40, but you're saving right off the bat pretty much 70 grams, removing 140 grams from your bicycle, which is huge in terms of rotating mass, and you're also getting a much less rolling resistance as well with this tube because of the fact that it's not this thick butyl rubber that's rotating against your tire. Inside of your bike, it usually comes stock with this massive butyl tube that is thick and rubber. Imagine the resistance against this on top of your tire, on top of your body weight. Whereas when you go to something like this, which is a very lightweight polyurethane kind of plastic on here, that is very thin, has barely any rolling resistance, and it makes this tire feel much more lively. It just responds very well, and you get this nice kind of humming sound to it when you have these tubes in there. One of the better upgrades I can really recommend in terms of price for what you get out of it. Now this is an in-between upgrade. This is a good or a Gucci depending on the price point of what you choose, but we're gonna get into wheel talking right here. And the thing I love about wheels is that you can get a modification for any kind of geography where you're at. If you're in the climbing hills, you can go ahead and put a skinnier deep dish wheel on there. Or if you're in a very flat area like I am, you can put a 65mm deep dish wheel on here as well to add that aerodynamic or benefit. Not only when you go with a carbon fiber wheel are you going to get a complete different ride in terms of stiffness and also compliancy, but you're also going to get a added benefit to aerodynamics, or if you want in the climbing hills, you're going to get a little bit better acceleration for climbing. These wheel sets, like I said, between the good or the Gucci, this definitely goes more on the good side because of the price point of these wheels right here. These are the Drive 65D made by ELITEWHEELS. These things retail for about $1,100, and with a discount code, and get you right under $1,000. With that, you're getting a carbon fiber rim, carbon fiber spokes, their own Drive 65D hub, and then ceramic bearings inside there as well, with a very nice sounding free abides on there. They do come tubeless ready as well, but again, like I said, if you did want to splurge, you can go on the Gucci side all the way up to a brand called Lightweight, which they have a wheel set that is about $8,000, which is a one-piece carbon fiber wheel. And people always say, if that thing is $8,000, shouldn't it perform 8 times as much as this wheel? And the answer to that really is, you be the judge. I'm not going to sit there and say that it's going to give you 8 times the speed, but it probably won't. And there is some middle-of-the-range road. You have Specialized Revolve wheels, which are $2,800. You have Zip 404s, which are about $2,500. You have a bunch of different wheels out there, and there's so many different options. But if you are really looking for a good pair of wheels nowadays, you can find them in that mid to entry level $1,000, and this is one of the best upgrades you can make for your bicycle. It's very hard to justify the price when you first buy a new bike, but if you do make this upgrade, it's one of the upgrades that's going to give you the best weight savings, the best performance in terms of stiffness to weight ratio as well, and then also the best for aerodynamics, depending if you want the deep dish wheel or the best for climbing, because they're going to rotate faster going uphill and they're so lightweight. So this is one of the better upgrades I can always recommend for someone. If they have the money to splurge on it, you feel the difference right away as soon as you ride it, and it's one of the nicest things out there. And last but not least, this is kind of like a throwaway, but handlebar tape. Very rarely do people talk about handlebar tape, but very rarely do people talk about how much of a difference it can make if you have a quality handlebar tape. This one I got for purely aesthetics, and it's Louis Vuitton kind of accent tape on there. Literally Gucci. I think it was about $40. It looked cool. I like the bling on it. But as you guys can see, almost about 1,000 to 1,200 miles on here. It's starting to move on me. It's starting to kind of warp a little bit. I put a lot of pressure in those drop areas. But again, the tape feels decent and it's lasting up over that time. I find myself riding a lot in the hoods, but when I do ride in the drops, these are very narrow areas. And I don't wear gloves as is. But if you do get yourself a nice quality tape, let's just name a few, like obviously Super Cas Cush. That's one of the nice comfortable tapes out there. It's comfortable to a point where it doesn't feel as much pressure, but also it has enough grip on there to a point where I can ride without gloves comfortably. If you find yourself a nice pair of bar tape that instead of your stock tape, which a stock tape can feel like this, and this is obviously all preference, but this is something I do not like, it can really be the difference of how much you enjoy the ride after a certain amount of miles or distance. I, for one, like the extra padding underneath the hoods. I, for one, like the extra grip down here below. I want something when I put my weight onto it, it's not going to feel like I'm just digging my palms into the bar itself. So handlebar tape is a very cheap item when it comes to how much time you think about your time you spent on top of this stuff and how many miles you're going to put on it. And I do recommend, from a bike shop mechanic standpoint, please change out your bars, handlebar tape, if you are a sweaty rider. It's obviously everyone's different, but go ahead and just take a peek underneath these hoods every once in a while, see if it's crusty, see if it's rusty. You have no idea how much corrosion can happen inside underneath these bar tape right here. I ride no gloves, but people with gloves and heavy sweating can really leave some moisture underneath here. But a good pair of bar tape can make the world of difference. And that is going to do it for the good versus Gucci upgrades. You guys might be thinking that I missed out on some. If you guys are thinking any that I left out, let me know that in the comment section below. I can make a follow-up video with either seats or handlebars. This bike came with an integrated bar and stem, so I didn't want to go too far into it. But a handlebar on a 2-piece system can be a lifesaver going to carbon fiber. But there are upgrades out there that we definitely do not need, but sometimes we just want to spend the extra money on a hobby or sport that we love, and we might get crucified for it, but at the end, I work in this industry, I absolutely love what I do, and sometimes I have a little bit extra money in my pocket to go ahead and burn it to make my bicycle look extra blingy, and that's what I like to do. I don't spend on anything else that I don't need. Sometimes I just like to spend on my bike. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Let me know which upgrade you guys like the most, and I'll see you guys in the next one.